Okay, I'm back again. I took a little bit of a break, so let me reshare this if you'll bear with me here. I wanted to do more and more development on this today, and I sort of have the approval to continue working on this. So let me just get this shared out to the socials so people know that I'm streaming again. And thanks for joining me. This is just incredible stuff what we're doing here with ChatGPT. So let me share this again and say I can't help it, I'm back. Right? I can't help it, I am back adding more ChatGPT test cases to pyATS with WebEx. Come drop by. Tweet, okay, and then let me share it on LinkedIn again. I am back again, developing ChatGPT, pyATS, network automation, test cases with WebEx integration. Come join the stream on YouTube. Streaming AI Python. All right, sorry. I have to get these out. And let's get back into the development. So thanks for joining. I am watching the YouTube chat, so if you want to say hi or let me know where you're dropping in from, that would be great. And let's get back to work. Oh, something's going on here. Hang on. My YouTube's not live over here. This has happened a couple times to me now. Let me do this again. Excuse me. Sorry for the delay. I want to be able to monitor the room for chat. There we go. All right. Okay, let's get back into the test cases here. So we ended off at and let's minimize these. So I think we have input errors. Input errors is where we're at. So what we're going to do is set up input errors to equal. And we're going to take this here and set it up here to say if they have an open API key and it failed this test, then call input errors ChatGPT, which we have to define. So what we're going to do is copy our input discards ChatGPT. And adjust our questions accordingly. So instead of input discards, I'm going to paste that here and call this input errors ChatGPT. What is the Cisco interface input error? What show commands are related to input errors? And how do we fix the Cisco interface input error? And that all looks good. So let's save this, and we've set this up to fail as a test. And actually, before we proceed, let me comment out some of the other comment out all this, and we'll do them, one at a time. And I have to comment out my loop at the top. Okay, so now we're at input errors. And we're going to run our tests. And we're going to go to our WebEx room. And let's take a look at what the AI says. Here we go. Show commands. All right, so here's ChatGPT and how to fix it. Okay, wonderful. Let's move on to our next test. And actually, hang on. Let's set that back to be greater than. And our next test is going to be FCS errors. Okay, so this will be neat to see what the AI has to think about FCS errors. Hang on, I don't want unknown protocols. I uncommented out too much here, hang on. Right, FCS errors, here we go. Okay, so let's set this to be equals. And let's add our code, our if statement here. Right here. And this is input FCS errors. Okay, and then we're going to copy input errors. And adjust our questions and our function here. So this is FCS errors, input FCS error, input FCS error, input FCS errors, input FCS errors, input FCS errors. And I see a mistake in my copy paste here, hang on. Right, fix that, okay. Okay, let's check FCS errors and see what the AI has to think about FCS errors. Really cool. So here, right, frame check sequence, corrupted during transmission, all the problems, the different show commands you can run, and then finally how to fix the problem. Pretty cool stuff, pretty cool. All right, well, let's move on to our next set of tests and change that back to greater than. And now this will be unknown protocols. equals equals, and if they have an API key, and if it failed, and this one is input unknown protocols. Unknown protocols. Unknown protocols, ChatGPT. What is a Cisco interface input unknown protocol? This would be an interesting one to see what it has to think. All right, let's try it again. Okay, so I had an error here, something line 1585, and it's a path to a file output. Should be open config interface input unknown protocols. So let's try that again. That's why I'm doing this test by test as well, by the way. I haven't necessarily tested all of them as a pass fail. So that's good. I'm fishing out errors. Okay, so there's the table, and here we go. Receive the network packet on an interface it cannot recognize. Here's the show commands and how to fix the problem. Very cool. Okay, so now let's set that back to greater than. Let's copy this now and collapse these and move along to the next test, output discards. And this is output discards. Yes. All right, back to output discards here. And thanks for joining. If you want to let me know where you're from in the world, that would be great. Just say hi in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions, if any of this is new or old, or what you think about this stuff. I think it's pretty cool. So this is output discards now. What is the Cisco interface output discard? What show commands are related to output discards? What output discards? Output discards. Output discards. And hang on, did I miss that there too? Output discards, okay. And I've set it to be equals equals. Call the AI, what is an interface output discard? Okay, let's send it and see what AI thinks about output discards. It's just so cool. Packet gets dropped because the interface is experiencing congestion and there is no buffer space on the interface. How to the show commands and then how to fix it. Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. I can't tell you how cool I think this is. And this is greater than. Oh, and let me copy that while I'm here. All right, so let me know what you think. Say hi. I see a few people watching. Just type in the keyboard where you're watching from. Let me know what you think about this stuff. And we're sort of getting to the end of our counters here. So again, this would be the same thing except for output errors. And I go to the failed here. And this is output errors. And this is output errors. Errors. All right. And here we go. This is what our tests are all looking like. Everything's passing. There are actually output discards. Isn't that funny? So there are actually output discards on the interface. So that test is going to continue to fail until I clear counters on there. But then it just keeps moving along. And here's output errors. There's probably output errors if there's output discards. Okay, so I didn't actually need to fail that test. And now we're going to get the output errors. Yep, perfect. Just perfect. Okay, so let me go back. Now we have some here where we may not need AI's help. I don't know yet. We'll have to take a look and see. Or maybe we can alter the questions we ask AI. Because our next test, oh, I don't know what that is. I'm trying to just minimize here. Is full duplex. So this will be interesting because this isn't just a counter. This is full duplex. So let's see what AI has to think about full duplex. I should have copied that. All right, here we go. Hang on. And that goes under the failed test here. If failed. And this is duplex. I guess I should say full duplex. And then we'll grab the test. And this will be fun. This will be a good one. This will be a neat one. So full duplex. And we're going to say, what is interface? What is full duplex? Let's just see what that says. What is full duplex on an interface? And then what we can say is what show commands are related to, let's just say duplex. And then let's say, how do we fix a half duplex interface? This is a fun one. This is a fun one. How do we fix a half duplex interface? Let's see. What do you think the AI thinks about a half duplex interface? And we're going to get discards and errors. I should hop on and clear counters. Oh, it passed. Because I didn't change the equals. Hang on. Equals threshold. And I'm going to comment out those two tests because they are actually failing and it's just slowing down the job here. Let's see what it has to say about duplex. Full duplex on an interface refers to the ability of an interface to transmit and receive simultaneously. Contrast to half duplex where it's only one at a time. faster, more efficient. These are the following commands related to duplex. There's several possible approaches to fixing a half duplex interfaces depending on the root cause. Here's some troubleshooting steps to consider. Port speed and duplex on both ends of the link. Cable is in good condition. This is just remarkable. Remarkable stuff. Okay, now let's undo that. And now we have admin and opera status. This will be a neat one. This will be a really neat one. We're getting into less about counters and more into, network state here. So let's take a look. I need my failed condition. And that's going to be here. And this is going to be called AdminOpera. And I need my bargain thing. All right. Oh, and I need to say if it equals to fail this test. I don't want to make that mistake again. And what we're going to ask it is, what is admin status on an interface? What is admin status and opera status on an interface? What is admin status and opera status on an interface? Now, what are the show commands related to admin and opera status? Admin and opera status. And then how do we fix a mismatched admin and opera status on an interface? Let's try those. That might be a bit much. I don't know. Let's try it regardless. This might be a bit much for the AI, but let's see what it thinks. Yeah, I didn't comment out those failures. I should have left those commented out. Yeah, I know. I should comment those out again. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Wharton, it is possible to learn coding by yourself. I would say yes, it is. Especially Python coding, if you start with Python. Okay, so admin opera status errored. What's the error here? Admin opera ChatGPT. What line of code? 2237. Right, I'm calling admin. So what? Oh, I didn't rename it here. My mistake, my mistake. Python's always right. So let's see what it has to think about admin and opera status. And we're going to have our couple failed tests here. Clear the counters, maybe that'll help. Okay, here it is here. Let's go into our chat room and see what it has to say about admin and opera status. Crazy, look at this. Look at this. Admin and opera status are two different types of statuses associated with an interface and network devices. There's courses and experience. I think it's a mix of two, Wharton. If you go to Cisco DevNet, there's great places to start on Cisco DevNet if you're networking related with development. Otherwise, you can go to like code.org to get started. So admin status refers to this. Opera status, on the other hand, refers to this. Here's the show commands. To fix a mismatch admin and opera status, you can do the following steps. Look at this. Look at this. That is remarkable. And then we have interface descriptions. So let's do interface descriptions, which is a moderate test. It's something arbitrary. I just put it in there to say you can actually test for descriptions. And if there's not a description on the interface, then fail the test. And hang on a second, I have to go back up into this and change that to is not equal. And now for here, for the failed test, this is just going to be description. And for our ChatGPT, what we're going to say is, and this is description, and I don't know if this is already failing or not. I think this one's actually passing. So if actual does not equal description, so, oh no, if actual description, else fail it. So do I just say if not? If there's an actual description, if there's not an actual description? I don't think it's going to replace programmers necessarily. It's going to augment them for sure in the near future. I think it's going to augment them. I think that's all I need to say is if there's not an actual description, then pass the test. Otherwise, fail the test if there is a description. That should do it. And I need to have my failure scenario here, description, and I'm going to say what is an interface description, and then what Cisco show commands are related to interface description. And then how do we fix a mismatch? This maybe will give us the config mode. How do we fix an interface without a description? Or we could say, how do we add a description to an interface? You might want to even say, why should we have an interface description? Let's just see what this says. Let's just see what this says before we get too creative with our questions. So here we go. Let's see what AI has to think about descriptions. Okay, so it's a little bit off here. Let me put Cisco interface description. What is a Cisco network interface description? What Cisco show commands are related to? That one worked. And then how do we add a description to a Cisco network interface? There we go. Network interface description, or NID, is a short textual description. The purpose is, and then how to do it in interface configuration mode. Description. Isn't this something else? Isn't this something else? Wow. Even the configuration, the CLI command on how to add a description. Okay, so the good news is I've come to the end of my first set of Yang models, and all the tests are now AI integrated for the OpenConfig class. So I can minimize that class, and what we can move on to are the iOS XE interfaces here, and then the IEEE. So I still have quite a few tests to integrate to AI, but that's good. So let me uncomment. It's a good place to check the code in. So let me uncomment everything else out. And delete my output files. Okay, and let me check this code in. And this is all OpenConfig is now done. All OpenConfig Yang ChatGPT plus WebEx. Sync changes. Now let me pull this code in. good place to checkpoint because I've done all of the Open API and Yang. Okay, good. All right. So next are the iOS XE. And there are quite a few of them. Just going to collapse everything and comment out everything again to make the development easier. And again, there is a lot of repeated tests here. We're not going to have too much new stuff. Maybe some of these v4 protocols. But we're going to AI enhance all of these and get them all sending into WebEx. It's, as you see, it's just a little bit of copy paste, and then we adjust the questions accordingly. I do have a meeting coming up though, so I think now might be a good place to actually stop the stream. I know I've done a couple streams today. I'm really excited about this. But my next two will be these classes, and I'm going to continue to plug away at them. Ideally, my goal is to have every one of these tests powered with the AI and powered into WebEx. And it won't take me too long to do that. There's not too many tests for IETF. The Cisco one has quite a few tests that I'm going to have to work my way through. But for now, at least the open config models are all done. So thanks for joining me today. This is really cool stuff. I'm going to be really hounding and pounding away at this because this is bleeding edge stuff. This is really cool. Especially like, did you see the admin and opera status AI output or like description, and it tells you how to configure a description? We're really getting into some pretty cool stuff here. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining the stream, and I'll talk to you again. Stay safe.